on that line, on the goal line, off this line, this line, let's score line, let's score line.
All right, another big win this week.
Yes, sir.
63-8, something like that. It was 60-something to not a lot.
I want to say 68-7, bro.
There you go. So
68-7.
you got about 65 points the last 2 weeks average. Trying to get clicking the right way going into the playoffs. When you score, I tell people all the time, people talk about running up the score, but when you got a chance, you got to score in these situations right now. You got to get as much practice as you can. You can't be holding back.
And like you said, it's never like, as a coach, you go in like, all right, we're going to run the score. As much as the kids try to say,
right.
You coaching the game, in the flow of the game. You know what I mean? And to be honest with you, we trying to execute our offense no matter what. Whether it's the starters in, if we sub some young guys in because we're up, we're going to try to execute our offense. I mean, that's not going to change. And again, like I said, never like our game plan, like, all right, we're going to run the score up on these dudes. You go in there, you call the game, and if it start going that way, then it's going to keep going that way. I mean, that's it in a nutshell. Like you said, it's about execution, period, in the discussion. And even before we sub, when we're fortunate enough to be up in games, we tell the young kids, if you're not executing, you're not going to be out there. If you don't know the game plan, you're not going to be out there. We're not just doing this as a charity. We're doing it for young guys to gain experience and stuff like that. We need you, but, biggest thing on that, man, is, like you said, get momentum, but I feel like we're getting healthy. We'll get TJ back, Mountain, who we haven't had since Colonial Forge this week. Ahmad will be back. That's the good thing is we're getting healthy right here going into the playoffs with guys that we had out. On top of that, those two guys return. But in the absence, Jabril has gotten so much better with TJ being out. So again, like you said, we just be a better all-around football team.
Yeah. Now, I saw Jason didn't play.
Yep.
How does that change your game plan going in? Because he's obviously a big part.
Well, he's a big part of everything that we do on both sides of the ball because he's so multi-talented. Right. On offense, he can run routes, get open. You can hand him the ball. He can run screens. He's good with the ball. So, he does that. But I think on defense, where he doesn't, even talking to college coaches, tell him he can play wheel linebacker. He can play safety. He can play a rover position, at the next level to the field. So when you don't have him in the run game and safety, a guy that can play run and pass, you can use him in the box. So, we're not able to be as I would say, multiple. So, we'll get him back. He had some dental work and stuff that he had to get done. So, he was fine. He just had some stuff he had to take care of, and he wasn't able to get it together, after that.
Yeah.
But like I said, he just had dental work done, and he just didn't feel good about it. So, we, like you said, we're better on both sides of the ball when he's out there, no doubt.
Right. Now, you got one game left, Colgan. What were you able to take away? Obviously, 2 big wins the last couple of weeks, but what were you able to take away about your team from this win that you want to try to work on, or what did you like?
Yeah, I just, like you said, man, talking to JT, I just feel like we're getting so much better in the run game. You know what I mean? And, Garfield got a good football team. Like I said, the coaches got those guys going, and they're doing the right things. They were 6-2 up until that point. So I'm happy to see that we're getting better. And I know sometimes it's hard to tell that, in blowout wins. Right. But from an execution standpoint, we're getting better. And Garfield was, they was in a 3-4 front, then they was in a 40 front, then they was in a 50 front.
Yeah.
So to be able to go out there and block all those things and, different schemes, just in the run game, like who you blocking, who you not, and the quarterback and the receivers knowing, okay, they're in this defense, we need to attack this, we need to do this. So, every game, no matter the record, teams present a challenge.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think that's the football side of it that, like you said, other people may think we overlook that, but like you said, we're looking at the football side of it. Regardless who Garfield has, what the record is, we had a couple plays that we drew up that we felt like schematically they weren't going to be able to stop. And, two of those plays were Quest's long run. And, like I said, schematically, we felt like we had an advantage in that. And, that's it, man. So, I'm proud of us. I feel like we're getting better. Defensively, I felt like they had a good running back, and, they've been doing a good job running the football right at people. We was able to establish, that wasn't going to happen, that you're not going to be able to just line up and run the football right at us.
Right.
And, every time your defense can do that, you're happy. So, like I said, I feel like we're moving in the right direction.
Well, so we talk about things that your team, things that your team does in blowouts. But is there stuff that you learn still coming 9 games in? Is there stuff that you learn still coaching wise that you can take away from games like that? Definitely.
I feel like if you're not learning and coaching all the time, regardless of the scoreboard, then you're just not a very good coach. You know what I mean? So I'm able to learn things from a standpoint, even if we got a young guy in, okay, and it's, okay, you learning about his ability. Like, okay, he's looking pretty good. He can play.
Right.
Or you can see, okay, he doesn't understand what he's doing. Or like you said, even with the coaches. Like now, I'm going to let my coach signal in and communicate it that way, so we try to, let coaches get, experience and build them up like we've done here, you know what I mean? And, let them get some experience as far as that something different goes too. Like we'll mix it up and let a coach call this, another coach call this. So, I feel like you said, we always getting better, and I'm always looking at stuff and learning stuff about our team regardless. I remember us yelling at Aiden, and it was at the end of the game, and he's probably like, y'all yelling at me for? Like, you're not blogging, we're looking at you. So, you're always getting better, and you always learn stuff about your team as far as from a standpoint of maybe young kids' development. Or maybe you learn like, okay, that kid, he's not going to be successful at that. We got to get him to try to do something else.
Yeah. I had a chance to talk to JT earlier. He said that earlier in the year you were getting on him. You and I talked about that a little bit a couple weeks ago. You were getting on him because he wasn't being physical enough when he was running. We had a chance to sit down and talk to him about it. Take a look. All right, so I'm not going to ask you about all the stuff going from a legacy at running back here. I ain't going to ask you about all that stuff. This year, though, a lot of people have underplayed the running game here.
Yeah.
How do you think you performed this year?
I mean, I think I've done pretty well. It's just in the beginning of the year, started off slow. Coach O was getting on me during practice and stuff, running through people because, this high as I am. So I just put that in my game, and now I have 1,000 yards for the year. So.
Yeah. How many touchdowns you got on the year?
I had 3 on Friday, so I think I'm at 17.
So that's not a bad year for a running game that people weren't talking much about during the beginning of the season, though, right?
Yeah, it's not.
So what do you think that you do best as playing running back? What do you think you do best?
I mean, this year I'm more patient and waiting on my block, so I think that's what I do more. And being a downhill runner.
You had a good people kind of started to take notice of you a lot last year in the game against Westfield.
Yeah.
How much did that game kind of propel you into this season?
I mean, against Westfield, Taekwon went down and they called my number, so I just had to step up. And I mean, it was a big game for me, and it started off what I did this year.
Yeah. Now, what did you work on the most in the off season to prepare for taking that lead role this year?
Last year I wasn't as big as I am now, so staying in the weight room and then working out of school, so working out with my trainer. So yeah.
Now, who do you watch the most and who you try to steal things from as far as running backs go?
Right now I got 2. So I watch Raheem Boyd a lot, and then I throw in a little bit of Josh Jacobs.
Okay. What do you all need to do? I mean, you're 9-0. You want 6 more.
Yeah.
What do you all need to focus on for the rest of the year? It gets harder from here on out.
Yeah, it does. I mean, I'm going to say just stay humble. Stay humble and keep doing what you're doing. Put 100% in every game we play. And I think that'll take us all the way.
See, I think that would surprise people because people would say, people wouldn't think of y'all as humble.
I mean, like as a Forge game, they was up.
Yeah.
Nobody got down. Everybody stayed humble and we did what we had to do.
All right, I'm glad. You know what? I'm glad you brought that up because during that game, I remember being on the sideline and y'all were down. I think it was 21-0. It was 21-7 at that point. And you and Quest were kind of playing around in that game. Like you could see that you all were just a little more loose than you would expect for somebody who was down in that game. What is it about your team? What is it about y'all that keeps that mindset even in a situation like that?
I mean, we all know each other's personalities and like. Because we all been playing together for a while now, and it's just we stay humble, so that's what we did.
All right. Who talks the most? Like who talks the most in the locker room, on the field? Who talks the most?
I mean, talks the most. There's a couple.
Yeah.
I can say Mari. Mari talk a lot during practice. Jason, Nigeria talk a lot, and then I'll have my days, but you know. I stay quiet most of the time, but I'll have my days and I'll talk a little bit.
Did you like to let your performance on the field do the talking?
Yeah.
Now, as far as the coaches go, who do y'all laugh at the most?
Laugh at the most? Coach O, because Coach O be saying some things. So I'll say Coach O and then Coach Cody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That I make fun of them a lot because they're so different on game night. Like Cody just all relaxed and Coach O is not.
Yeah.
Is Cody like that all the time?
Yeah, he is. Like at practice, joking with everybody, talking with everybody. So he stay the same.
But he'll talk bad about you in a second, though, right?
Yeah.
Well, good. Best of luck to y'all going forward, and can't wait to see what y'all do the rest of the year.
Thank you.
Good. JT said, you know, that kind of turned him around a little bit. He's put it on for the rest of the year here.
Well, you know, I think this is. I don't want to seem like I was getting on, but this is what I'm gonna say. If you tell me, he tell me, his expectation level is he can be Division I, whatever it is, running back. Okay, my job as a coach is to make sure, okay, I'm gonna push you to that point because that's what you're telling me you want to be. So he has all the ability. It never was a question that is you one-on-one in the open field with the average high school kid, you gotta win.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be no question. If you the next level running back that I feel like you are and you say you want to be, you got to make that guy miss. Or you got to run through him. So, you know, it's just like you said, I feel like that's a part of coaching that people get scared to do now. Like you got to push the player to meet his maximum potential. His maximum potential may be different from somebody else's.
Right.
But, you know, I'm not afraid of that, man. The crazy thing about it is, like you said, you know, not just JT, but it was Najee last year. Like, take him out, you're not tackling.
Yeah.
And obviously he's tackling, but if it's not at the rate, so again, like you said, you want to always push them. JT, you know, is you know, as good as the kid at Patriot is, and he is good. JT's, you know, the leading rusher in the area.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So he's that level of back. It's just you got to be that, bro. And that's it. That's him, and that's everybody else. And we're gonna push our players, you know, to that point. And you know, he answered the bell, and he's doing a great job.
You got a guy with 17 touchdowns on the season. That's a big spot for your offense.
Man, it's crazy because they put out the leaders every week.
Right.
So we got the leading quarterback, tied for the leader in rushing. We got the leading receiver, and then we got 2 other receivers in there.
Yeah.
The kicker in there for points total, and you still have parents, you know, like upset about. Oh, I'm like, what else can you do? You got other coaches, you know, telling our kids, man, he not using you right. Like, dude, like, what else can you do if you got the leading quarterback, the leading rusher, the leading receiver? You know what I mean? You got 3 guys in there, you know, and our staff, you know, like, what else is there to do? But you know how it go, bro. Like you said, it's crazy. When that came out this week, I was like, look at this. We got the leading everything. And people still gonna complain. And people still gonna try to, you know, manipulate the kids and all that wild stuff. Like, how much better you gonna use him than 1,100 yards through 9 games, 17 touchdowns. The quarterback got. How much better are you going to use him?
Right.
Like, so it's all good. But I'm proud of the kids and our coaches. Like I said, bro, you've been here, man. We do such a good job just putting a game plan in to be successful. Period. However we got to do it. And, the kids are doing that.
Well, you brought up having the leaders and everything. Looking at that, Quest got like 32 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. 3.
Do one this week.
There you go. You look at it, I mean, the jump in his year from last year to this year is amazing. We talk about the coach and everything, but the work that he's had to put in to get to that point and the lack of turnovers is the big thing. That's a huge thing for a high school quarterback. He doesn't get talked about in the group of Northern Virginia quarterbacks like he should. And we've talked about lack of offers and things like that, or the college coaches not looking at it that way. But to not be talked about in the group with the Noah Kims and the Billy Edwards and all these guys, it doesn't make sense to me. Yeah,
and it's no disrespect. I told you how I feel about Noah. I think he's awesome. We got a lot of moxie. I cannot say none of those guys are better than Quest.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not to put any down on them because they're kids and I wish them all the best of luck. But none of them are better than Quest. And, I even talked to a coach, he got his, 4 offers. I talked to a college coach about him this weekend. And, I asked him those, questions. Like I said, I got a good relationship with a lot of the guys because just like me and you, I'm honest, genuine, not trying to, lie about nothing. I asked him, what is it that, and then like they say, well, he looks 10 times better than he did last year. And, I had a college coach say, now he's definitely a guy. It's just he's a guy everybody going to jump in late because they probably wrote him off based on where he was last year.
Right.
And a bigger test of that goes to Quest, like you said, man. Forget the football side.
Yeah.
I feel like the biggest thing he did is he worked and he changed his physical stature. He's way bigger. He's one of our strongest kids. He's solid. And, he put a lot of work in with that. He's always worked good. He got a great family and support system. And I tell people, that's a big part of it. And when, you got somebody that's going to take you to specialized training, specialized lifting, and making sure you got everything you need to be successful, that helps, man. So, again, I don't know. I'm not going to say he's not because I feel like in football, he is. But, again, all the headlines and all that, he should have him. I mean, he's leading everybody and everything. And, again, he's, the best quarterback in the area. And I mean that from a standpoint, nobody's better than him. You can't say this person is better than him. And, again, like I said, that's, he worked at it. He earned everything he's getting.
And his teammates like him. And I've never seen anybody say a negative word about him forget about it as a player, but as a person. And that's a huge thing to have leading your team as well.
It is, man. I tell all the college coaches, they ask me about him. He's coachable. He's a guy you're going to want in your meeting room.
Yeah.
And from a standpoint of, I felt like we were super talented the year we had AJ. He's probably one of the best athletes ever played. He just didn't have the leadership stuff that Quest has. He led by example with his play, like, yo, I'm balling out. Y'all better fall in line. You know what I mean? Y'all better pick it up. Where Quest is more vocal with everybody. And, he does a good job, leading the team in his way. So, and the other thing about him, you can coach Quest. You can yell at him, curse him out from a football standpoint, curse him out, and he's going to be the same kid. And coaches can appreciate that in practice. If you get on the quarterback and he doesn't pout, go into the jar, and now practice ain't going to be worth 2 cents because the quarterback pouting.
Right.
Because you yelled at him. He's not that kid. You can get on him, he can say, all right, coach, and he's going to keep working, and practice is not going to go, downhill because the quarterback's upset because somebody yelled at him.
Yeah.
So, you appreciate that about him every day. He stays the same demeanor. Just keep playing, man.
Well, speaking of senior leaders, had a chance to sit down with Nigeria. He said Jason does the best impression of you.
Probably, but I don't know. Keely's pretty good too at it. The ones I've heard, I'm sure there's a ton I haven't heard. They mock me all the time. But Keely's definitely pretty good at it too.
Well, we had a chance to sit down with Nigeria. Take a look. All right, now you're a senior leader, taking this team all the way through. Y'all are undefeated, got 1 game left in the regular season. Tell me about the year a little bit.
I mean, it's been fun, whatever. I mean, like, we make the best of it, you know, in practice, have fun, compete, and in the games, we just perform. So, I mean, it's been great, especially that fourth game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, that's been really your only close game this year. You've been pretty much blowing everybody out, especially the last couple of weeks has been big point margins. That's the most special one for you this year?
Yeah, because it just took us to, like, do it together, you know, because we was losing at first. So, I mean, like, nobody really broke down and, like, started, like, you know, acting out of character. We just, like, still kept playing and whatever. So it was just, like, a great team thing, you know. Yeah. So.
All right, so I'm going to get away from that for a minute. Usually everybody, like, on every team, somebody does a real good impression of the coaches. Who does the best impression of Coach O when he's not around?
I say Jason.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's pretty good.
Now don't be shy about it because he's sitting across the room though.
he does the best impression.
All right. Now, aside from the Forge game, what do you think? Just take that out of the. What do you think your best game this year was?
I say Woodbridge.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had 2 picks that game, and I had about 4 catches on offense. So I think that's like my best like complete game, you know. And I feel like that week I watched a lot of film, so like things kind of happen a lot slower, you know. So yeah, I was able to like see things before it happened. Kinda. Yeah.
Well, last year didn't end the way you wanted it to, obviously.
Nah.
So how much hungry are you for it this year to get back to the state title game?
I mean, definitely, because like the rankings, like VHSL, they'll post this thing on Twitter and they'll have like teams like Westfield and Ocean Lakes above us. So it's just like motivation, you know, because we went to states too. But I mean, like you just play through things like that, you know, give us that edge to keep going.
All right. Now, I talked to Coach O about it last week. You're always smiling. You always got something. You're always talking on the field.
Yeah.
How much does it bother other players from other teams?
I mean, it does, you know, it get in their head a little bit, but like we do that in practice too, like one-on-ones, me and Omari go at it. Like it's just like that competition thing, like, and it, like it just gets me through games, you know, like it just keeps me going and makes the game fun, you know.
Do you play better when you're loose and talking?
Yeah, because when I'm quiet, like I'm never quiet. So if I'm quiet, then there's something wrong with me. So it's like it just gets me through games, you know, and it like helps me play, you know. Yeah.
All right. Now you and Mari going back and forth 1-on-1 during practice.
Yeah.
Who gets the better of it?
I mean, it's just days, whatever. Like some days I'll have my days, some days he'll have his. But I mean, we always talking to each other, you know. So it's gets a lot competitive, you know, especially when we do it off. Like it'll be Coach O there, and he'll be talking to us, you know. So it definitely gets competitive.
But you get the better of them.
Yeah, of course.
All right. Good. Well, all right. Best of luck the rest of the way, and yeah, we can't wait to see what y'all do the rest of the year.
Thank you.
All right. Yeah, you and I had a chance to talk about it last week, but I think Nigeria has a special temperament, and I think y'all are probably going to need that going into the last stretch of the season.
Agreed.
There's going to be a lot of teams that try to get your guys to throw them off their game.
True.
So I think he's got a good temperament to handle that. And he and I talked about that before, but closing the regular season out, 9-0, undefeated again in the district. I know the playoffs, so you got all that stuff. But as a coach, do you have time to reflect on that, or you wait till after the season to talk about that stuff?
No, I think you got to appreciate it,
Yeah.
you know, also doing the way. You know, you put a lot of time in, you and your coaching staff, the kids, you know, you put a lot of time into this. And, you know, here, it can be tougher sometimes because of our success. Other people, you know, do all this wild stuff and try to make all these wild accusations about anything under the sun. Like you said, after we talk, Here goes somebody accusing us of something with the JV kids. Like, Lord have mercy.
Yeah.
So you gotta appreciate that stuff along the way, man. And like, you gotta have fun every week. Have fun in the game. Try to find new ways to make practice fun, and and again, I think that you always, try to find that line where you want to make sure you're still being respectful to the game, but you're letting the kids, enjoy themselves and making it enjoyable to them. So, but no, man, we take it in every week. Don't take nothing for granted.
Yeah.
Like I told the kids, it's not easy going undefeated. I don't care where you're at. It's not easy. So, again, you just got to take it in with stride, and you got to appreciate every moment. And after this week, the goal will try to be 1-0 every week.
Yeah. We've talked about life and coaching and parenting and all that stuff. Is there stuff you learn about being a parent from being a coach? You're dealing with kids all the time. So is there things that you learn about being a parent from working with kids so much?
Yeah, because sometimes you see kids in, bad situation, whatever the parenting may be or may not be. And, it kind of just reminds you to make sure you fulfilling all those needs for, your kids. Yeah. And, you kind of get to watch outside in some people's approach, how it works with their teenager. Like, okay, I might want to do that with mine, or maybe I don't. Yeah. So yeah, of course. Like you said, we all going through life learning, but definitely, I give it take, and I think that one thing I do a good job making sure I'm doing is where I'm this great, parent and father figure to all our kids. As you can see, man, even today.
Yeah. I
gotta make sure that I'm doing that to my kids and my son, more.
Yeah.
So, I learn from it, but I also, that's what I love about this. I mean, you get to see me. I'm around the kids all the time. I enjoy being with them, and we really are a family. Us and the coaches. You saw me playing flag. It's 3 of the coaches playing with me.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's it's a family affair, and all the way around. And of course, like you said, I'm learning stuff, all the time.
Yeah. Now, talking about playing flag, I was out there for a few minutes. Nigeria said he didn't know you were that fast.
I keep telling them I'm still probably the 3rd fastest person on the team. Now, I'm not running past 40 yards.
Right.
Not running past 40 yards, but, I still, got a little bit in the tank. It'd be easy to quit if I wasn't good still, but, we just won the MAFL League 4 out of the last 5 seasons.
Yeah.
Got a great group of guys and coaches I do that with. Again, family, guys that I coach. Tim Scott played with me. Mm-hmm. Chris, Coach Mooney, Ricky, who I've known, almost 10 years now. Coach Cousins plays. Yeah. Coach Justin, who used to coach here, plays. Cody plays. Yeah. So, man, we like to love, get out there and have fun. And I used to play scout team quarterback a lot more.
Yeah.
My first 2 seasons here, I probably played scout team quarterback almost every day. Now, not so much.
Now, last week I saw Cody come in. He was dirty. I thought he'd been playing, and he said no, he was playing paintball.
Yep.
If I had to compare the two of you, still on a flag football field right now, how is Cody compared to where you are?
Well, Cody does a good job on defense.
Yeah.
That's kind of where he made his mark in the game.
All right.
He's a elite flag puller dude. He'll tell you that. He can't do nothing with me athletically. I mean, that's a wash. But, he got a team, his team has won the national championship, I want to say, year before last.
Yeah.
So, they're good too. So
y'all still be out there, and the guys got a chance to see you today. A few more ice baths now than used to be.
What? Like you said, man, stuff just don't quite, what I mean? Like I told you, man, it really is like a old Cadillac. Once you get it running, it'll run. But once you shut it down, it's down for a while. So, it's just but like you said, it's a love. Like you said, bro, I challenged my kids last week on being passionate about the game, like not just playing. And, when you're passionate about something, you do it. That's it. You do it.
Yeah.
No matter what, you do it, whether it's football, wanting to be a nurse, wanting to be a doctor. If you're passionate about something, you find a way to do it, even when it's inconvenient.
Yeah. 2 days off of school this week. How's that change your schedule for the week?
None.
All right.
We're going to practice the same time. You like to go early, but coaches, I got too many coaches that got to go to work still.
Yeah.
And, well, what does it matter, coach? You playing a team that hasn't had a lot of success. It still matters because I still want to get better. Win, lose, or draw this week. I want to be better than we were last week.
Yeah.
So we're not gonna change it. What it does change, you get to relax a little more and woo-saw.
Yeah.
You get to walk around knowing the kids are not gonna get in trouble in school. You know what I mean? Like it's every day you like, oh gosh, make sure this lady not about to, oh, we made it. At 2:10 you're like, oh, we made it. So
that's right.
You get to be worry-free for 2 days.
That's 40% less.
Thank you.
40% less.
Dealing with these knuckleheads.
Yeah.
So, you're appreciative to the break. I still got to come in regardless, because of my position here. So it's just a woo-saw moment.
There you go. Well, we'll see you next week. Hopefully next week we'll be talking about an undefeated regular season, getting through the whole year and all that.
We better be. If not, I'm being here with the blur on my face.
We'll see you next week.
All day long, on the goal line, off this line, deep this way, let's go line, let's go line.